It's Ramsey Dewey over here at the EFL gym in Shanghai, China. In the Minhang district, let's talk about the Speedbag. Specifically, a question that I got from our friend B, who wants to know what we should be doing with our feet when we're using the Speedbag. Should we move the feet? The answer is yes, absolutely. If you are doing combative movements on the Speedbag specifically, yes, you should do the corresponding footwork. If you're doing Speedbag tricking, where it's all upper body, if you're doing Speedbag drumming, where it's all about the rhythm and not about combative application, then yeah, forget about the footwork, just have fun with it, right? But if your purpose of using the Speedbag is to translate these hand-fighting patterns and these punching patterns and these hand-fighting punching combinations into fighting technique, then yeah, you got to learn the footwork and you really, really should use it. So what is the footwork? What are the techniques? I made a whole video about, I made a whole playlist of videos about Speedbag technique, but let's review really quick. We have the most basic block, punch, block, punch, block, punch, block, punch, block, punch, and you'll notice my footwork here. There's a little drop step, a little falling step on the punches, and there's a rise on the block. Block is a bit of a misnomer, but you get the idea. We're intercepting the hand with this one, moving that pesky guard out of the way. We're passing the guard, if you will, so we can hit the guy in the face. And then we're passing the guard, if you will, on this side, clearing the guard, and then hitting the guy right there with the punch. And the punches have falling steps, just like if I'm throwing a basic jab. Let's do that. Let's just jab the Speedbag. Jab, 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 jab. And I got my falling steps right there. It's just a little shift and weight from the front to the back. In, out, in, out. Switch to southpaw for a minute. Throw some jabs with the right, in, out, and it's a really small transfer of weight, in, out, in, out, in, out, in where I can hit him, boom, out before he can hit me, right? Boxing is a game of millimeters when you do it right. You get right within range, and before he can do anything about it, boom, you're out of range by just a tiny bit. Where he throws it, he whiffs at the air, hits nothing, right? What else do we have? We got double punches. Let's get it moving a bit first before we do those. And then we'll hit it twice in a row, like this. Or we can follow up something like linking with a double punch there. But when we throw the double punch, you'll notice my hands move together. At the same time, my shoulders move together, my hips move together, my feet move together. The whole body is moving as one piece. So my arms are up on the horizontal plane. There's about a fist width of space between my hands, and even if I have no clue what I'm doing, if I just do this pattern, eventually I'm going to start hitting it. Don't try to hit it like, I'm going to hit it with this hand, and then I'm going to hit it with that hand, or you're going to miss, you're going to screw it up. Think of it as one motion. The hands move together. The hands move together. The hands and the body and the feet and the hips move together. Boom. Let's do that again. I always find it helpful when I get it moving a little bit first. Double punch, double punch, double punch, double punch, double punch. Double, double. So it's kind of like doing the block punch, rapid fire, but the footwork is much more subtle. It's like, instead of a big drop step or falling step or trigger step, we've got more of a flowing shuffle from one side to the other. Think about the Dempsey roll, for example, shifting my weight from here to there, bobbing and weaving as I'm throwing hooks and shovel hooks, right, coming and doing some damage, right? Linking, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. This is sometimes called reverse punching or linking. This is a hand fighting pattern. We're intercepting, we're pushing and pulling the wrists and the fists of our opponent out of the way to create an opening for an actual punch. Move the hands, hit him. Move the hands, hit him. Move the hands, punch him. Okay? You can absolutely translate this stuff into combat. Now, there's not a lot of footwork on the linking. It's more of a shift in weight a shift in weight from one foot to the other, right? So I'm absolutely shifting my weight from one to the other, getting ready to get that drop step, that falling step on the actual punch. So I'm going to do some linking followed with the double punching, right? So get it moving first, link, double punch, link, double punch, link, double punch, link, double punch, linking, double punch, linking, 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 right? Linking, double punch, link, double punch, link, double punch. So it's more subtle transfers in weight, and then the heavy drop step on the punch at the end of that combination. Boom. So not everything needs to be explosive and powerful. Sometimes we'll flow, sometimes we'll crash. Who said that, man? Who said that? Be like water, my friends. Water flows and water crashes, right? And that's what striking is. We flow and we crash. That was a terrible crash. Let's do that again. Flow, flow, let's flow a little bit. And then we'll crash, crash. Okay, what else do we have? Boom, I know. I made a whole video on the footwork for trapping. Trapping, isn't that what Wing Chun nerds do? Something like that. Now, I didn't use any footwork right there, but I will. It's ideal if you have 360 degrees to move around, but most people mount a speed bag to the wall because it's convenient. It's the easiest place to hang them up in most gyms. So we're gonna start on this side, push, pull, step, uppercut, hook. Again. Push, pull, step, uppercut, trap, hook. Push, pull, hook, hook. Again, push, pull, hook. So I start on this side and I finish on this side. I shift 180 degrees on that one. If I were to do it over here, let's pretend I'm a southpaw for a minute. Never even tried it on this side. Something like that. See, I'm changing my angles on this one. And there's a lot of stuff you should definitely practice moving around. Speed bags. Changing your angle, balancing, throwing your uppercuts, trapping. And move your feet as if you were boxing. Shift the weight as if you were boxing, because that's what we're training for, right? Boxing. Up on the toes, up on the balls of the feet. Weight slightly elevated from the heels. You can add a little bounce to it if you really want to. Just move the way that you box. Throw a jab at it once in a while. And then move in for a trapping, hand fighting pattern. Go back to a jab. You can do a 1-2. 1-2, falling step with the left, trigger step with the right. Do you know how to do that? 1-2, step, step. Man, if you don't know how to do that, add that tiny little step with the right foot to your right hand. It's game changing. It's gonna amplify your reach, your power, and don't start whining at me about how, oh, I feel unbalanced when I do that. Suck it up, buttercup. Get some balance. Practice until you feel balanced. If you feel unbalanced, you're doing something weird with your feet. A lot of times if you're unbalanced, it's because you're leaning forward like this. You're trying to reach with your head and your torso instead of reaching the object with your feet. Right here, I'm too far away to hit it, so what do? Do I lean in? I mean, I could, but I put my head on a silver platter for the other guy to hit. How about instead, I just move a tiny bit closer with my feet. And then I move away where he can't hit me, right? I'm close enough to hit, I'm out of reach, he's gonna throw a punch, he's gonna move in closer, and boom! I'm gonna make him pay for that decision, which wasn't really a conscious decision, it was a reaction. I acted, he reacted. Another great thing the speed bag does is it trains you to hit the other guy when he moves forward, when he moves toward you. Because if I'm trying to hit it when it's moving away, it's gonna be weird, right? But if it comes in toward my fist, boom, there's a head-on collision. That's where the maximum damage takes place. That is what we are aiming for every time. Elbows. This isn't striking, this is blocking. Either blocking with the point of the elbow intercepting a fist, or blocking by grabbing the back of your head and covering up for a hook. Either way, you can practice your hand position on either side of the body, mid-flurries of hand fighting, trapping, punching. What's happening? Like a cat pawing at a ball of yarn here. Anyway. And we can add actual elbows, like Muay Thai style elbows in there if we really want to. And yes, there's footwork in there, just like when we step into a punch. So the elbow is a very short range weapon, unless we add a step. Here I can't hit it, and boom, here I totally can. So let's block, elbow, block, elbow, block. Let's do that again. Talk less, do more. Biffed that one. Don't practice spinning stuff too much with these, but it's fun to pretend. Boom! So practice your footwork on the speed bag. Right, we're boxing with the speed bag, just like we're boxing with the air when we're shadow boxing, just like we are boxing with the heavy bag when we're hitting the heavy bag. So you don't just camp out in front of the heavy bag moving your arms, do you? You don't just stand there like a statue moving your arms when you shadow box. Now, unless you're just doing speed bag drumming or tricking, why aren't you moving your feet and doing your footwork properly when you're working with the speed bag? Hand fighting doesn't work without footwork. And this is a problem a lot of traditional martial artists fall into, is they divorce their hand fighting from their footwork, and they stand there and they train with another guy who stands there and doesn't move, and they do all their movements, and they're like, oh, I feel pretty good about this. And then they spar and they're like, oh, it all falls apart because the other guy's moving and they're not. So if you don't want to fall into that trap, practice your footwork with your hands. Hands and feet go together. Your body isn't a bunch of separate pieces in a fight. It's all one thing. All one thing. So use it accordingly. Thank you for watching. Now get out there and train.